Mark, I want to thank you, Mike and Pat, our instructors, for doing what you do. It makes it easy for me to do what I do. So thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome, Chad. Pat, do you want to go ahead and roll us off?
Okay, that sounds good. I'm just going to turn around here and get us started. Let me share this screen with you.
Sure.
And perfect. Have you ever thought about how nice it would be in the real estate business if someone set up all of your appointments for you and all you had to do was just show up and be charming and close the sale? Wouldn't that be nice? And we spend so much time doing so many other different things. And if you think about it, think about the last time you could actually go to the doctor. I'm thinking about an orthopedic surgeon that I went to last year when I had a knee problem. And what happened there was, you know, you make your appointment 2 or 3 weeks in advance, you show up, you wait in the outer waiting room, then you wait on the inner waiting room, and then some nurse comes in and they sit down with you and ask you all the questions. And then this doctor comes in a $2,000 suit and a $200 tie and sees me for 5 minutes, and then he's out the door and he probably made $1,000, and I have to wait for somebody else and possibly go have x-rays made. So I want to tell you about a little product that's called Calendly, and I haven't been using it very long. I've heard about it, but this is almost like having a scheduler for you, and I'm going to give you some examples for it as we go along. Now, just imagine your calendar on this situation where, let's just say that you decided that today you're going to spend 3 sessions doing a home valuation because you're locked at home with the COVID-19 thing. And so you've decided that you're going to do these through Zoom or some other video sharing program. And it's only going to take you 30 minutes to do them because you're good at that sort of thing. But in a normal situation, you would also have some drive time. If you were going out to talk to them, we'd have probably 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after. And so then we would end up with 3 hours worth of drive time for 1.5 hours worth of appointment. We've spent 4.5 hours of one work day to be with these people. And it's not probably the highest and best use of our time. So let's just look at one example here. Let's pretend that on your website, you've got a new menu item that's called video meetings. And in there, you can pick and choose which ones you think are appropriate for the market you're in. But let's just stay with the home valuation right now because it really is something that's pretty easy to work with. And so one of your people gets on your website, they see this, I wonder what my home is worth right now. They click on it, and then boom, it opens a little window right there on your website, and it's got your calendar. And so they decide the day they want to have this video chat with you, and then they see what times are available because it's going to your calendar, whether you're using Google or Outlook or whatever you're using for your calendar. And so in this case, they chose 2:30, and then they confirmed the appointment. And the next thing that happened is you get a receipt in the email from this that automatically goes to your calendar with the information. Now, you can set this up so that you ask any of the qualifying questions that you want to ask, and they fill it out before they have the chance to confirm it, which is really nice, and it goes on their calendar. So going back to this, just look at some of these others. Now, this might be a temporary thing. I hope it's a temporary thing. Selling during COVID-19. How many websites have you gone to where they've actually changed from their regular website to a special landing page for COVID-19? So you can do the same thing for buying and talk about all those particular things. Maybe rental investments, maybe getting ready to be a first-time buyer. Any of those types of things work really well. Well, when you sign up for Calendly, and it's one of those services that is free at first, and then you can get some upgraded services. For one of the upgraded services, you can have up to 6 different things that all go to one calendar, so you're not overlapping them. So some appointments that you think might take 30 minutes or some appointments that might take an hour. And then because any of you that have been in class with me before know that it's not just about having an idea. It's about applying that idea with a marketing principle. I'm going to give you a couple of examples on marketing principles. Now, you know I'm probably a big fan of Outlook, and so I always use these Outlook templates, user-defined templates. And so I just made this quick little thing on here that I might have been talking to somebody on the telephone. I can pull this template up real quick, email it to them, and then they can schedule their own appointment. Or maybe it's somebody that I'm following up with that was from months ago that we never did anything, it never materialized. I could send them that email. Or maybe I've got something like this where I could turn around and blast it out to everybody in my database. And so I've predetermined which video chat topics I want to have on there. And then that schedule button goes, boom, right to the calendar. So that would be hyperlinked in there. So I could mass that out to a whole bunch of different people and then hopefully fill my calendar up this week.
Wow.
Hey, Pat, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How would you do the video chat? What platform would you use? How would you do that so that'd be good for the consumer?
Well, I mean, we could do Zoom. I use GoToMeeting, but both of those platforms, by the way, which are inexpensive, readily available to everybody, work seamlessly with Calendly.
Yeah, Google Hangouts also.
Yeah. So the last thing I want to share with you is this simple one here. You know, you could take your everyday email signature and add a hyperlink on it, and that particular one is a little graphic. And so with every email that goes out, somebody has the opportunity to do a video chat with you.
That's
well,
something.
You're probably asking, how much does that cost? The basic free one is $0. $8 a month is the middle one, and then as much as $12, and you pay by the year. So literally on the $8 a month one, it's $100 for the year to have somebody scheduling your appointment. I think you would need one appointment that converted to a sale about every 100 years to justify that expense. Okay, any questions you guys, or something you want to add to that before we switch topics?
Well, man, I think that having that on the bottom of your signature in your email is a big win. You pick up an appointment passively. That's really rocking. Thanks, Pat. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
Great.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we'll see who else is up next.
Michael,
Okay.
you want to roll?
I'm happy to share a little utility that I started using several years ago that has saved me lots of time. And the situation presents itself where you're out on the internet, which we're out on the internet a lot lately, and you go from one site to the other, and you keep finding really interesting articles, things that you really, really want to read, but you know that enemy time is keeping us from doing it. So someone came up with this little utility, and it is free, and there's an upgrade version, which I really had no reason ever to go to the upgrade version, but I wanted to share that with you. It's helped me out both professionally and also personally. So I'm going to jump over here and share my screen. Go here and share that. And I'm going to go right over to my Google page, which you see here right now. So let's do a search. Let's say we're searching for something on how to install a fence post. And up comes all these different things on how to install a fence post. So let's say the family handyman has the very best one, and we open that, and meanwhile time's going by, and you know, we don't really have the time to go through it, but this looks like just a perfect article for me. And what I am also finding out is that, especially with recipes, all these little pop-up ads, they almost make it impossible to read it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And it really interrupts what, you know, the reason that you went to it, and they'll embed, like there, they'll embed the actual ad right in the middle of everything, and pretty soon you forget what page you were on and why you were there. But with this little utility, and it's called Pocket, just like your shirt pocket, you can install in your browser, in this case Chrome, this little icon in the upper right-hand corner, which is shaped like a pocket. And all I do at this point is tap that once, and it's now saved to Pocket. Now, maybe I want to add some tags. So when I search for this article later, I can put in, for example, fence. I could put in yard, has something to do with the yard, and any others that I want. And now I'm back on that site. So let's go to Pocket. Let's open Pocket and see what happened here. Open your Pocket list. So here's my personal Pocket list. So you guys will know the kind of things that I'm interested in, what I've been looking at. Here comes my list. So Air Max shoes, I don't remember really looking for those. I don't even know how they got in there actually. So I can just simply go like this and delete it, right? Because sometimes you accidentally may save something, you might not. Signing into Gmail, certainly I didn't need that. So I'll delete that. But look here, here's the best fence post removal trick, okay? If you've ever, by the way, tried to do that, you know you need a trick to get out the old fence post. So now when I tap on that, here's the article, but notice all the stuff that's stripped out of there, and it's a lot easier to read right through that. It's a very short one in this case. Let's go back to another one. Boomerang for Gmail, which, by the way, you want to check that utility out. It gives you an idea how long it'll take for you to actually read the article. So turn your Zoom meeting into a live webinar on Facebook. I think it said 7 minutes. There's a little video in there. Now, maybe this is something that I think, you know, maybe Pat or Mark or Chad would like. I simply go up here and I click on that and say, send to a friend. I can also put it on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and you can see the rest of them and actually copy the ad. If I want to go to the actual website for some reason where it was posted originally, I just click on View Original, and it's going to take me right out. In this case, it's going to be to a Zoom website, and this is what it looked like originally. So you can see, you know, a big difference between reading this and all the interruptions that you get versus doing it on Pocket. So, you know, Pat, you were talking about you go to the doctor's office and you're waiting in this room and you're waiting in that room. You don't need to have your computer there because this goes across all devices. So you can just pick up your iPhone or Android, whatever device you have, and open the Pocket and just say, I've got a few minutes here. Let me open Pocket and let me see what I might want to read while I'm sitting here that I didn't get a chance to read earlier. Or maybe it's time to make some seafood and you got your recipe before you go to the store, you can check that out. Was there a question?
Well, I was going to say, Mike, I took your recommendation on this and I signed up for it and I've got it on my computer, but I haven't. Do I need to have a app, sign up with an app to be able to read it on my phone?
I just did an install and it ended up on my phone. I went and got the app for it. Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, this is a great app. This is actually one that I really use a lot. It actually is owned by, it's owned by Mozilla, which also owns Firefox. And what I love about this app is the ability to highlight content. So if you found a quote or something you want to come back to later, you could highlight something in there. And then you have a page of your highlights so you can go back and find it earlier.
Oh, perfect. I love the fact that it strips out all that, the garbage flashing at you, the ads and things like that. I can't read an article with that going on. Wow, Michael, that was awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So the only other thing I have there, let's see. Let me pull this up. Hang on a second. That's a seminar we did earlier today, which leads me to mention this to you guys. Go to that site if you want it. Just go to getpocket.com. That's where you'll get it. And there's the little pocket, you know, as it appears in the browser. And then be sure to check out some of the classes that we're doing. We talked a little bit about them earlier, but here's a bit.ly link to 7 Things course that we're going to be doing. I'll be doing the 23rd and 24th this week. And just go to bit.ly/7 Things for RRC. and you'll be able to register there. And don't forget to check out the other courses. We're putting a lot of them together and making them convenient so that you'll be able to watch them on one of our.
So if, Michael, if I missed that bit.ly, we could also just go to CRS.com and search for that class.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Okay.
Wow. Great. Thank you, Michael.
Okay.
You want to pass it on?
Absolutely.
Okay. What I came up with is a question I've been getting a lot from agents in the technology classes is there's so much talk about video these days that I don't want to take people to YouTube. If I take them to YouTube and they watch my video, they end up watching 27 other videos and getting kind of lost in the day watching video. So what I'd like to show you is how you take this video and implant it on your website. So just about any video you can do this with, but this most likely you want to be your own video. So I'm going to assume you already have a channel, and if you don't have a channel, you can make a YouTube channel by hitting new while you're in YouTube, and then upload the video. And here's a video that we uploaded just recently. The Price is Right, or is it? Common seller mistakes and how to avoid them. So how did I get the video here is what I'd like to answer today, is how did I get that video on my web page? Well, any canned website has the ability to put in HTML. So you can go to YouTube and get this HTML, or what we called embed text, and place it here in our canned website. So that's what I want to show you how to do. Start by hitting share under the video. So you hit that share button, and then up comes a menu where you've probably seen this. You've used it maybe to share a video to Facebook or Twitter or Blogger. But that first icon, that's the key. It's called embed. And if I click the embed icon, it gives me the text, or what we call hypertext markup language, that if I paste that in the right place over on my web page, the video will appear. And you'll be able to play it directly from my web page instead of over at YouTube where you could get distracted.
One thing, Mark, I just want to point out to people too, you can start it at a specific point in your video too. That's what that start at 004 is, right below.
That's
so
slick.
if you wanted to put it at a certain point in the video, I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, very good. So I got that copy button down there. I'll hit the copy button. And now up in my clipboard, I have this text. So then I'm going to head on over to my admin page in my website. I happen to use Playster. That's the Playster login. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a page, or add post, as you can see in the middle bottom. Add post. And this is just typically how you add an article or a picture or create a listing in your website. Now, in this particular website, this special HTML version is a lower than / greater than. So if I hit that button, now I'm in this capability to accept HTML or hypertext. Now let that sit just a second. Let that sink in here. So there's two different views, the normal view, what we call WYSIWYG, and the HTML view. Now on your website, this logo might say source, or it might say HTML. Like if you're using WordPress, it says HTML. So you hit the HTML, then you get to this mode, and then you hit what, folks? Paste, yes, paste. So I hit paste, and then I'm going to click update, and because that text is there, that video automatically appears. Say, ooh.
Ooh.
Now that video is there, if I go back to the normal view of my website, or like it says here, view live site, now it will show up as just a typical normal video in my site. And let me give you a couple of points about this. One, when somebody watches this video, I get credit in two places. The credit, what I mean is I juice Google, search engine optimize Google for the value of somebody playing that video. Now I get one credit or juice from my webpage. So my webpage climbs up the search engine a little bit higher because of the popularity of that video. Number two is I have a YouTube channel in the background that's displaying this video. And when you watch it here, I'm getting some credit in that place too. So two places are driving up my channel and my webpage in Google for SEO reasons. So that, after the next time we get together, I want to show you the next piece to this. And that's, displaying in an email that video and how you take people to your video on your website to promote this, to send out mass emails to your new listing or price changes or recommended advice about your hyper local community that you're marketing to. And two, I want to pitch a class that's coming up in 2 weeks from today. We have technology and plans for success, the 5th and 6th, starting at 9 a.m. Central Time. We're splitting it over 2 days, so it's not so much in one day. Be a great technology class. We'll talk about contact management, customer relationship management, hardware, software. It's time to polish up on some high-tech skills today. And this is the class to do that. It's coming up 2 weeks from today, and I'd love to see you there. There's a bit.ly link at the top, or you can go to CRS.com and just look for education technology plans for success. And I have invited Pat and Michael to come in and share the stage with me a little bit, kind of vary some of the teaching techniques. Pat's really good at email marketing, so I want to see Pat's way he teaches that, and he wants to see another piece of mine, and Michael too. So we are looking forward to seeing you in a CRS class soon.
Mark, before you go away there, I just want to say, we all know this, but maybe some of the people that are listening don't know this. Years ago, we always taught classes 2 or even 3 instructors at a time. And there was a certain dynamic that took place. The class was actually better because of 2 or 3 instructors than it was with just a single instructor. The energy level was higher, the aggregate amount of ideas were better. And what is something that takes place in those is that there's always somebody in the back of the room that is thinking to themselves, boy, when it comes my turn, Mark just did such a great job. I've got to be better than that. And so the student really benefits from this. So I'm actually looking forward to your class coming up, Mark, and I know Mike is too, because all 3 of us have been teaching the technology course for CRS for a long, long time, over 20 years.
Is it the same course as it was 20 years ago?
Oh, I remember the very first class, which is in 1987, and it was in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we rented computers from a company in Reno, and they had a big truck. They brought them down to this hotel. It was I can't think of the name right now. I can't think of it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, it took them over a day to set everything up. And one of the software programs we were using that day, the software developer delivered it to us at 7 o'clock in the morning, the day the class started. So it's come a long way. And back in the late 80s, there were plenty of realtors that had never even touched a computer before. But the one thing that CRS has always done is stay up to date and always give the leading edge stuff. And with regards to this course, there were so many people that were selling things that sounded good, but they'd never sold real estate with them. And so we had leading edge, not bleeding edge technology in our courses.
Yeah,
that's true. Try to do what's tried and true and works in the marketplace. And I remember back we were teaching the Palm Pilot and keystrokes on the Business Analyst 2, and so we watched it evolve. And some of the tools today make it so much more interesting and easier, and we like to highlight those in the courses that we bring to you.
A Palm Pilot?
Remember that?
I used Handspring back then.
The original smartphone, it wasn't a phone. It looked like one, but yeah. Oh yeah, boy, I digress. Well, folks, we look forward to maybe putting a few of these on for you in the future. I'll give you a little tips and tricks quickly, and post them at CRS.com, CRS's YouTube channel, CRS's Facebook channel, and we hope to see you there and in a upcoming class. Thanks, folks. We'll see you next week.